I grew up in a wonderful, secure, loving home. We were in church every Sunday. My parents were considered leaders in our church. My mom and dad worked hard at raising their 4 daughters to have good values, to be honest, trustworthy, and loving. In spite of all that, I was a very insecure, shy child with deep feelings of inadequacy. Beginning in high school, just always feeling insecure, a lot of feelings of inadequacy, and just kind of like I didn't fit, didn't make friends easily. Then went off to college. My freshman year was, same thing I'd say, but I met a guy my freshman year and thought I was in love, and found myself pregnant at 18. And, naturally it just was away from home, didn't have the support of my parents there, and didn't feel as though that was something that I wanted to share with them, and was really scared and felt alone. On my own, I just went home and had my first abortion in 1973. The shame of what I had done began to rule my life. I had deep feelings of inadequacy, that I was not worthy of God's love or anything good in my life. I settled over and over again, setting myself up for what I saw as failure. What I know now, looking back, God was always there trying to get my attention. He protected me. He extended His grace to me time and time again. I did become pregnant again, and by God's grace and mercy, I carried my baby to term. I have one biological child, a beautiful daughter who is one of the greatest blessings of my life. I have also been blessed with 2 more daughters that were added to my life through marriage to Garrett 10 years ago. My journey of healing began about 5 years ago when I decided I could no longer keep the secret that had been ruling my life for so long. I think for me, keeping it in that dark place for so long, really what I was wondering by not sharing it is, will you still love me? There's so much shame and guilt involved in what I had done. And the fear was thinking of, if people really knew who I was and really knew this secret that I'd kept hidden for so long, would they still love me? Judy from the pregnancy center suggested that I share my story with Garrett, that it's hard to go through the post-abortion counseling without sharing it with your loved one, your husband. And I told her, wow, that wasn't something I thought I was really willing to do, but I would pray about it. And I spent a long time in prayer, and finally I'll never forget one Sunday afternoon, just asking him to listen to me, that I had something to tell him, and I told him my whole story. We wept together, and he hugged me, and his response was, "Robin, those that are forgiven much are called to love much," and that was his response. And I don't think I've ever felt so much love in all my life as I did at that moment. Little by little, I shared my story with a few friends I fully trusted and asked them to pray as I embarked upon this journey. Joyce Stinger, a friend from church who has mentored me for many years, was the person I confided in. I told Joyce my story. I asked her to walk beside me, to pray with me as I worked through this healing process. She loved me again right where I was in my walk with the Lord. I love her deeply. She has shown Jesus to me time and time again. I spent many hours talking with another friend of mine from church, Kim Montgomery, who listened, shared her wisdom, cried with me, and loved me unconditionally. I knew that the more I shared my story, that there was a possibility that my daughter Casey would hear it from someone other than myself. I decided that I felt that she was old enough, mature enough, and had become a Christian herself in the recent years, that it was time to share my story with my daughter, Casey. That was a very, very difficult thing to do. She naturally cried. She's an only child. I was told after the abortions that I had that there was a possibility that I would never have children. But when I did tell her my story, she cried, and it was difficult for her because she felt that she was deprived of having the brothers and sisters that she had always longed for. But she accepted me and loved me and forgave me. That is really what I think we're all longing for. It's what we are looking for. If I let you really, really know me, know who I am, are you still going to love me? That's what God calls us to do as His children, to love each other and to love much.